We're now joined by Dr. Michael Shires, Associate Professor of Public Policy at Pepperdine University. And the CBS News poll mentioned in the previous report showed that 60% of voters feel both candidates in this presidential election really don't genuinely care about minorities. They just really want their votes. Yeah. What do you say to that?
Well, I mean, there's an element of truth to that. I mean, you went from President Barack Obama as the first African-American president elected to two kind of privileged white candidates who really are running a campaign and understand in this strange election chemistry that every vote's going to count. So you're going to see, these are votes that were supposed to be safe for Hillary Clinton coming into this race. You see Donald Trump working very hard right now to try and undermine that. We'll see what the poll, if you start to see motion in the polls in the next couple weeks, expect Hillary to spend a lot more time with this group.
We're seeing some of the polls, the numbers close just a little bit. We'll get to that. But Clinton is still having trouble with the trust issue and the issue with her server, the ongoing controversy with her private server. Are voters losing confidence in her, or do you see a turnaround? Is this going to really lead to an erasing of her lead?
Well, you know, if this had come out 3 months ago, they probably would have forgotten about it by now, but we're getting right up to those election dates. And so this is something that's been background noise for a while, but it's really starting to gain some traction. We're starting to see voters say, wow, I mean, you look at those FBI questions, she wasn't under oath, and she kind of pled, ignorance on all the questions. And most of them are sitting there going, well, ignorance is no excuse of the law. Right. So there's really a tension now with voters. I think it's going to start gaining some more traction.
Well, there is one poll showing Trump ahead nationally. The Reuters Ipsos survey shows Trump edging out Clinton by 1 percentage point, favored by 40% of voters to Clinton's 39. She had an 8-point lead in the previous polls. So what is behind this slide? Is it this server thing that's going on? Is it much more than that?
Well, I think a lot of it is Donald Trump has had a good week or two. He's behaved. Right? He hasn't gone off the reservation. He hasn't said any really crazy things.
And he also made some major shakeups within his campaign.
He did, and he's listening to his advisors. I mean, I think that's new to this campaign. I don't think anybody was really managing him before. But now he's starting to listen. He's starting to appeal to audiences. He's starting to control the flow of the conversation. And people are looking for that kind of leadership. They didn't think he could exhibit that. Now that he's starting to do it, we saw him next to another foreign dignitary last week. Yeah, we're starting to see a presidential-looking Trump.
Yeah, he met with Mexico's president. However, there was mixed reaction to some of the things he said after he had the meeting with Mexico's president, insisting that the president was still going to pay for the wall that he intends to build between the United States and Mexico.
Well, I think like most Americans, I'm looking for how that's going to work out. But you know, there is that interplay. But the reality was both of them were invited, and this was yet another instance where Donald Trump showed up and Hillary Clinton didn't. It's slowly starting to cut into what was her, almost unbelievably insurmountable lead.
What about Donald Trump's appeal to minority voters, going to black churches, going to black communities? Do you think that is starting to make a little bit of a dent?
We haven't seen it in the numbers yet. That doesn't mean it won't. I mean, the election starts tomorrow, basically. And, for all of us, we're used to the lull before the storm. Wait till all the commercials hit. And we won't see it as much in California. Hillary Clinton's already been blasting him in the battleground states. But we are going to see a lot more activity from both candidates. And if you start to see movement, like I said, I think Hillary's going to have to work hard to keep that vote because she hasn't really done anything to demonstrate her commitment.
Well, she's pointed out a lot recently that this is just not how the world works. When Donald Trump meets with foreign dignitaries, that she is suggesting, or not even suggesting, outright saying that this isn't how diplomacy works when you work with the rest of the world. Do you think people are going to start to take notice?
That's such a subtle argument. I'm not sure most voters are going to get it. What they're going to see is President Trump and the Mexican president side by side, and they're going to say, where was Hillary in this conversation? And I think right now that's the visual, and you see him in the African-American church. There's a lot of visuals going on in this campaign right now that really favor Donald Trump. She's going to have to get out there and start making some of those on her own.
All right, Professor Spires, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We appreciate your time on Sunday night. Always good talking politics with you. Thank you.